All right, today we're jumping into one of the most absolutely mind-bending moments in all of ancient literature, straight from the Bhagavad Gita. We're talking about a moment of pure cosmic shock that completely flips the script on a friendship, a battlefield, and pretty much the nature of reality itself.
So, let me just ask you this. What would you do? What happens when you look at your closest friend and suddenly you see the entire universe packed into their form? Every star, every god, every possible past and future, all right there.
So here's the scene. We're on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The hero, the great warrior Arjuna, is completely frozen with doubt. And that's when his charioteer, his best friend Krishna, decides to show him something, his true universal form. It's a vision of literally everything, all at once. And Arjuna's reaction? Well, that's what this is all about.
At first, Arjuna is just floored. Completely overwhelmed by the sheer scale of what he's seeing. His mind is just scrambling to catch up, and his first instinct isn't just praise, it's total, unconditional surrender.
He can barely even form a coherent sentence. All he can do is just repeat his salutations, his namaha, over and over and over again. You can feel it, right? This isn't just polite respect, it's this primal, overwhelming need to just bow down before this infinity.
And in that instant, his whole idea of his friend just shatters into a million pieces. Krishna isn't just Krishna anymore. He is Vayu, the god of wind. He is Yama, the god of death. He's Agni, the fire. He's the creator, the great-grandfather of everyone. He is, in a word, Sattva, the all, the one single reality behind everything.
But then, that awe starts to curdle. It twists into something else, into this deep, gut-wrenching feeling of horror and regret. Because Arjuna is suddenly realizing who exactly he's been treating like his casual buddy all these years.
And this is the core of it right here. He's absolutely mortified. Oh my God, he's thinking. I called him buddy. I called him by his first name. He was treating the supreme being like an equal, totally blind to the cosmic majesty standing right next to him. He blames his own carelessness, maybe even the love he had for his friend, for not seeing the truth sooner.
You can just feel the mental whiplash he's going through. Think about it. Before, Krishna was his friend, his cousin, his trusted companion. And now, the reality check is terrifying. Krishna is the father of all creation, the greatest teacher there is. There's nothing and no one equal to him in any of the worlds. That gap between perception and reality is just unimaginable.
And his remorse goes deep. It drills right down into the most ordinary, everyday parts of their friendship. He's replaying every inside joke, every meal they shared, every time they just sat around together, and he's just cringing at how casual he was. He begs for forgiveness for every little thing, whether they were alone or in a crowd.
And this is the point where awe and remorse just boil over into pure, raw fear. This vision, it's just too much. It's too big, too powerful for a human mind to process. It's magnificent, for sure, but it is also absolutely terrifying. Arjuna has hit his breaking point.
He says it himself, plain as day. He's not just a little scared. His mind is pravyatitam. It's violently shaken, completely thrown into chaos. Whatever joy he might have felt at first is gone, totally swallowed by this primal fear of the infinite. He just can't take it anymore.
So he starts begging, and his plea is so specific, so human. First, he's just like, please, make it stop. Just end this vision. Then he asks for something he can at least recognize, the divine four-armed form, still glorious, but understandable. And finally, his last plea, just be my friend again. Please, just go back to your gentle, two-armed human form.
And Krishna, being the Mahatma, the great soul, shows this incredible compassion. He does it. He grants Arjuna's wish and shifts from that infinite, terrifying form right back to his familiar, gentle human shape. And just like that, the terror is gone. Arjuna is calm again, his mind is steady, the storm has passed.
But here's the thing. After Arjuna's pulse is back to normal, Krishna explains the real point of what just happened. This wasn't just some cosmic horror show to scare him. No, it was a crucial lesson, a teaching that could only land after Arjuna's ego was completely shattered.
Krishna makes it really clear. What Arjuna just saw was sudurdarsham, which means it's incredibly, incredibly rare. It's a vision that even the gods are constantly hoping they can just get a glimpse of. So this wasn't something Arjuna earned, it was a pure act of grace.
So you're probably wondering, how do you get to see something like that? Well, Krishna starts by listing all the ways that don't work. Studying the Vedas? Nope. Extreme self-discipline and penance? Not that either. Giving away tons of money to charity? Still no. Performing all the right rituals? Sorry, that's not the key. None of the usual spiritual checkboxes will get you here.
Instead, Krishna reveals the one and only way. He calls it Ananya Bhakti. Now, what does that mean? It means pure, unmixed, single-pointed devotion. It's a kind of love for the divine that has no other motive. You're not doing it to get something, not for knowledge, not for power, just to the sake of devotion itself.
And then Krishna lays it all out. He says that only through this pure devotion is it possible to truly know me, to see me as I really am, and, in the end, to merge into me. This is it. This is the master key that unlocks reality itself, and it stands above every other practice.
Okay, but what does a person with this Ananya Bhakti actually look like? That sounds pretty abstract, right? Well, in the very last verse of this chapter, Krishna gives us a super clear, actionable portrait. He breaks it down into 5 key qualities.
So here's the checklist. Number 1, a person who does all their work for the divine. 2, someone who sees the divine as the ultimate goal of their life. 3, someone who is simply and purely devoted. 4, a person who is free from attachment to things or outcomes. And number 5, and this one is huge, someone who has zero malice, zero ill will for any living being. That person, Krishna says, that's the one who comes to me.
And that really leaves us with a final question to chew on, doesn't it? This ancient text is making a pretty radical claim that this pure state of being, this devotion, is more powerful than any ritual or any amount of book learning. So the question for us is, what would it actually look like to live out those 5 qualities in our world today, to act for a higher purpose, to let go of our attachments, and to have no malice for anyone? What would that even feel like?